There you go. Little Ted coming back. Ted Nugent. That's because he is going to be in the Kansas City area coming up next Friday. Not this Friday. Next Friday, March the 8th, for an event with the Johnson County Republicans. Their chairwoman, Maria Holliday, is here on KCMO Talk Radio. Maria, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So Ted's coming to town. That's always fun, right?
Good morning. Yeah, we're really excited about it.
All right. Let's start off with what you guys have going on and what this event is going to be and how people can come on out.
Well, thanks for having us here. We're excited about this. This is a 170th birthday party of the GOP, and we are excited to throw something different. This is a party. We're going to have Ted Nugent out here to talk about country and God and freedom. And afterwards, we're going to open up for the after party because, you know, what do you do when you have Ted Nugent? You have an after party. And we're going to have some food and some games and some great auction items. And it's going to be a big time.
So this is not, a sit-down dinner, listen to Ted give a nice little calm speech. This is a rally. This is a fun time with Ted.
This is a rally. We have our presidential primary coming up on the 19th. So this will be, just 10 days before that, and to get people riled up, and let's get out and fight for our country.
So, anytime Ted's been on the show a couple of times, he's always a hoot. I'm sure that,
is.
You've talked to him, you've heard him in one of these settings. What can people expect who might just know Ted from the music side if they haven't seen him in person? This guy is a ball of energy, and he does not hold back.
He doesn't, and so there.
I mean that in the best way. I mean that in the best way possible. I mean, he's a character.
He is, and people know that. But I think what a lot of people don't know about him is that even back when he was, you think about him being just in rock and roll, he was always a conservative patriot, and that's something that's always been in his heart. And people think about all rock and roll stars being, drug addicts and alcoholics, and that's never been his gig. He was always out against that. And so, but he is not afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right. So what do people need to know about how to come out next Friday night, how to get tickets? I know there's different tiers. People can actually meet Ted personally as well before the event. So what are the options here? So
we've got a jam-packed event. So actually it starts at 1 in the afternoon. We have Leadership Institute coming from 1 to 4. So if people are wanting to get involved with campaigns and they want to volunteer and they want to know more about how that works, or maybe they thought about being a candidate, it's an opportunity to come to that, and that comes with your ticket price.
Okay.
Between 6 and 6:45, we will have a VIP meeting with Ted. So we'll have an opportunity there for come shake his hand, get a photo. That is, and those sponsorship levels I sent to you, so you can put those up on your website as well. The event will begin at 7. We'll open up, check in at 6. Doors will open at 6:30, and we'll have him. We'll have another speaker, maybe a surprise speaker coming as well. And we'll listen to that, and we'll have some great auction items. I know we have a beautiful wooden waving flag that was made by a local craftsman that's going to be auctioned off. And I'm told we might have a Ted Nugent guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's outstanding. So can people go to your website to get these tickets? It looks like jcrpks.org.
They can, and if you post it on your website, then we'll have a special deal for Mundo listeners.
Okay.
So there's a link for tickets that is made especially for your listeners that will give them 10% off premium and preferred seats.
Okay. All right. So that's something that is a link that we have been given that we will then share with our audience.
Yes.
Is that okay? Interesting. So we'll get a hold of that. We'll be able to get that up as well. You've teased some interesting things that could be happening as well that I understand you can't get into right now. What would you say, for people that are considering coming out, right? That how this county is made up, and people are going to say, Ted Nugent, that's too much for us. How do you get that person who might be on the fence about going, might be maybe a more moderate Republican? How do you get them out to something like this and get them involved and get them engaged?
Look, Republicans are Republicans. We all want to have more individual responsibility and less government intrusion, and that's what Ted's going to talk about. So this is for everyone.
That's great. Well, it's coming up next Friday. So take us through. I mean, you mentioned the presidential primaries. Maria Holliday, Johnson County Republican Party chairwoman, is a couple of weeks away now. What are you thinking about with this election year and all the races, whether it's down to state reps here locally, city councils in Johnson County, to congressional races? What are you trying to do right now to lay that foundation?
Well, that's part of the reason we're having this big event. An important thing we did last year was to send out those voter guides, and we need to do that again and do it in a even bigger way. So the presidential primary, people often are like, why do we have a primary in March and then we have a primary in August? And so there's a lot of confusion about that. So this presidential primary that we have in March is how we select our electors. So when you think about the Electoral College, Kansas has 6 electoral votes, and those will be selected because the Republican National Convention is in July before an August primary. So that's your opportunity to say who you want and who you want Kansas electors to vote for. But Missouri people can come on over too.
That's fine. Yeah, they can have a good time hanging out with Ted. Everyone's welcome on that front. Now, some of the local, super local state rep, I know it's going to be very important for folks in Topeka to keep the House, keep the Senate. They're going to be, political opposition is going to be looking at a lot of seats here in Johnson County. How do you try to hang on to them?
Well, I think a lot of it is getting people engaged and having people that know how to volunteer, which is why we're bringing Leadership Institute in as well. It's an opportunity for everyone to find a campaign find a candidate you believe in, find your state rep who's been doing the right things and get behind him and help him out. And raising some of this money is going to be helping people to do that. And
that money, of course, then will get just deployed by the county party to candidates in need, basically.
Some of it, we don't give directly to all the individual candidates. We do things as a whole that can help everybody.
Okay.
So we have some new data systems and software programs that are going to be able to help all of our candidates to run their campaigns more efficiently and effectively. So things like, requires a big server. There's a lot of things that are happening at the local level, and just the mailers that will go out that are then for everybody.
Okay, very cool. So this is something that people should want to get involved with if you're on the Kansas side of the state line in particular, because as well as I do, give people an idea here in the next 30 seconds or so just how much Democrats in Kansas are eyeing some of these seats in Johnson County.
We know that we have some people that are big targets because they have really stayed true to the Republican platform and the ideals, and they're in an area where they look at it and we think they might be I don't want to say weak, but vulnerable.
Yeah.
The demographics are such that they're vulnerable, and we really want to be able to shore those people up.
Well, Maria Holliday, Johnson County Republican Party chairwoman, thank you for being here. We'll send people to jcrpks.org, and we'll also pop something up on the social media pages. Thanks so much.
And they can look on our Facebook page as well.
Good deal. Maria Holliday on KCMO.